I'm your host, Amtaj Kar, and this is We Went to Miami. Welcome to a very special episode of We Went to Miami. We have comedy legend, dare I say, Beth Stelling. And if you're not familiar with Beth, there's so much to say. One, Beth was part of the Chicago stand-up scene, where shockingly was part of this creative project, devised her own character in a summer hit called Five Lesbians Eating a Quiche. And I'm keeping this bio high level because our listeners, one, probably already know you, but if they don't, I want them to be intrigued. Beth was asked to do stand-up on Jimmy Kimmel Live after Jimmy saw her perform at Upright Citizens Brigade in LA. Beth's first hour stand-up special, Girl Daddy, was on HBO Max. And more recently, Beth's stand-up special, which was filmed in Dayton, Ohio in 2023, If You Didn't Want Me Then, has topped every Best of 2023 list in comedy, with the New York Times calling her a meticulous professional in her prime. And the Vulture saying Stelling is consistently a great comedian, but her Netflix special, If You Didn't Want Me Then, represents some of the best of her work. And more importantly, Beth went to Miami. Welcome on the show, Beth.
And most importantly, I worked at Bagel and Deli.
No, wait, I didn't know that about you.
Really? I got a lot of bagel material.
Okay,
At least
usually...
I used to.
Oh, it'll come back. Usually I ask this at the end, but now I guess I ask you now. What's your Bagel and Deli order?
I'm trying, like, back then.
Oh, we've evolved. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Back then, I'm almost forget. It's all getting mixed up in my head. I'm like, was I a Cool Jules as an adult? And then as a kid, I think I was Mr. Turkey.
Interesting. You give me Crunch Munch.
Well, I know the inventor of the Crunch and Munch, Riley. She worked during my time there. And
no way.
When I worked at the Chicago Bagel Authority, which is another Miami grad who worked at the bagel shop.
Cool.
So I just merely transferred bagel shops from Oxford, Ohio to Chicago, Illinois. And Riley and I went and visited there the last time I was playing the Den Theater, just like a couple months ago in June.
Yeah.
And Greg, the owner, got a little picture of Riley for the
Crunch and Munch. That's so cute.
Yeah, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Riley tells the story, but I think it was like inspired by her dad. Maybe I'm pulling that out of nowhere.
Okay, well, Riley has not yet come on the podcast to confirm or deny.
Yeah.
So this is...
She also went to Miami, and now she's killing it as an architect.
Riley, if you're listening, call We Went to Miami. Email the alumni social. Yeah.
I'll link you to.
Make the connect if you don't mind. Well, we have so much to talk about, but something I want to call out. If you go to Beth's website as a comedian, literally in the first 2 sentences of your bio, you drop Miami U, which is crazy. One, because I don't see a lot of comedians or entertainers mention their alma mater. 2, shout out Miami. I was just wondering, was that intentional? Why is that?
I love how your question, Amitaj, is like, why would you pretend to know us?
No, like, of all people, you're shouting us out? That's crazy.
You're like, I'm surprised you're... No, I think for me, it's just sort of like, I have so many... Whenever I perform at a comedy club, you got to give them a photo and a bio. And over time, that changes, of course. So I feel like I've had so many iterations of different bios over the years. And I think that one that's on my website is probably one I wrote for myself, like, I don't know, 3 years into stand-up or something. So like, I think it was like felt closer then because
So you said, actually, as an adult, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, if I had to write one now, I'd say.
You said, we're not mentioning Miami.
But also part of it too is just like my background in theater. Like, look, Miami's not a conservatory. It's not known for its theater program necessarily. But because of that, I was able and thankful to get on stage a lot. And being a theater major led me to doing the urban leadership internship program at Miami, which led me to interning at Steppenwolf Theater in Chicago, which is obviously the city I ended up moving to. So there was a lot of links for me between getting my theater degree at Miami and where I ended up. And
that's beautiful.
I think, there's definitely, like, I don't know, there's ebbing and flowing, I guess, of pride about any education at times, like how attached you feel to it or not. I think it's, maybe that's just part of any relationship. And that's a little sad, meaning I could easily sort of like forget as time goes how much it actually meant to me. I even feel like I went back and talked to Rocks, Ruling Our Experience, which is a program at some of my Nibblings elementary school, but it's particularly for girls, young women ruling their experience is what it's called. But
That's
I
so
went back
cool.
and talked, and it's like, oh, well, here's where I went to school and what I was into, and like how I grew into this performer. And it's like been so long. I
Yeah.
do forget it. It's sort of like if you don't continue to practice gratitude, you can forget. I guess it's like kind of like a little
Yeah.
sad in that way. But there were so many times and experiences at Miami that led me to my success as a stand up. And I
I
think
love that.
it takes probably, I don't know. I guess, does it make sense?
This makes complete sense. And
Yeah.
like, let's both zoom out and zoom in with that. So, one, I know you grew up in Dayton, Ohio. You mentioned it, and your comedy special was filmed in Dayton. And you even mentioned you're there a couple weeks ago
Yeah.
for your show, and you threw the pitch recently. But how did you end up from, granted, it wasn't a super far move, but
Right.
from Dayton to Oxford, what did that journey look like?
Well, I had a single mom, and I knew, like, I think, again, when I was little, I dreamt of being like a gymnast. And for some reason, I had one of those old college pamphlets where you could pick where you wanted to go to school. And I had for some reason, been looking for where gymnastics programs were. This was when I was like,
I didn't even know Miami had a gymnastics program.
well, they didn't. I wanted to go to West
Oh,
State.
okay.
Um, but the funny thing is, it's like so much just changes over time. Like it really
Yeah.
wasn't until my senior year that I thought to myself, like, it's not just where do you want to go? It's like, what's realistic? So
Mm.
like in some ways, Miami was very realistic because my mom couldn't afford to send me to name a cool theater program that maybe I could get into, but maybe I couldn't, but NYU
Yeah.
or, um, California, Cal Arts, so part of it was proximity, like you're saying.
Yeah.
And part of it was where I could get scholarships and have it be financially responsible to study theater, which I don't know
100%.
if it ever is. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I think the reason I ended up at Miami is my sisters went to Ohio University and I kind of wanted to be a little different.
Boo.
And it seemed far enough,
Yeah.
but not too far. I don't know. I didn't have a car, so that was part of it too.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's kind of a boring answer, but I
No,
think it
I feel
was
like
just sort of
everyone's
like,
answer is unique. It was
I was like,
right place, right time,
yeah,
almost.
I'm not over here. I guess I don't really relate to the people who are like this extremely strong, like tie to their university. But I think that's part of me being a comic and being pessimistic and always looking for what's nefarious. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do
Yeah.
we're saying thank you to a corporation that took a ton of money from us. I know it
100%.
sounds bad, but there are times where you're just like, what do you want?
Well,
What do
and
you
there's
want
that
from me?
there's that ebb and flow, and I feel like a lot of people too, like I remember when I was graduating, everyone was like, well, now we're only gonna hear when they need money. And
Right. A
like
common thing said.
100%, which is actually, it's like far from my actual lived experience of it, but there's a reason though, I'm sure that came to be, and that sentiment's there. Um,
Yes.
and to your point, the ebb and flow, right? So I feel like there are points where you're pulling away and you're like, I don't know if I like what's going on there, or moments where you're like, I bleed crimson red, love and honor. You know what I mean? It just depends on the day, quite
Yeah, and it's also
frankly.
who you get to cross paths with. It's like, oh my goodness, we went to, you
Huge.
have the same references and stuff like that because you went to school there and met somebody cool.
Yeah,
And I
absolutely. So
keep in
when you
touch with people I went to school with that I loved from the theater
Are
program.
you one of those, like, I still talk, okay, no offense to any of our listeners, but are you one of those that's like me and my freshman year roommate still meet every year to
We
this
don't. We
day?
we do. Whenever I perform in the
No
DC
way.
area, she's there, which I appreciate. Yeah, I do keep in touch with like pretty much everybody from my freshman dorm. I mean, not the
That's
whole dorm, but the people I
wild.
became friends with
Yeah. Well,
because
where
that
was the
was a
freshman
diversion.
dorm?
What?
What dorm are you in?
Stanton.
Wow. Okay. I like know that one. Some of them I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
Did you dorm it up?
I was a commuter all 4 years from Westchester.
Okay. So you live at home.
Yes.
Okay. Live at home and make the drive. How far was the drive?
45.
Okay.
Not
So
bad.
basically it's like you're clocking it. It's a long
I worked a 9 to
a
5,
job.
essentially. Yeah. But very similar to your story of how you ended up at Miami. Like for me, it was the financially responsible decision.
Yeah.
Um,
And proximity because 45 is
yeah.
not terrible.
No, and my parents were in a time of their lives where I think they needed me home, and I'm glad I did it.
Good.
Um, I feel like I never related to those people that were like, I stepped on campus and I knew it was a place to be. Now, granted, Miami's gorgeous, and I'm sure you know the Robert Frost quote, right, about
Two
campus.
roads?
No, about Miami.
Oh. No.
Hold on. I have to quote it. I know our listeners are going to kill me if I don't get this right. Hold
You
on.
must be exact.
Yeah, on
I
my
can sort of see a little bit of the reflection off of your behind you. What if it was just like a photo of me? Like,
It's the most beautiful campus that there ever was.
wow,
Yeah,
high
Rob
praise from
Frost
Robert.
himself.
He's seen a road or
Um,
two.
two
Two
famously at
specifically.
least.
Famously true.
But,
I really did. You know what? One of my favorite
yeah,
classes at Miami was poetry.
you're skipping questions,
Sorry.
Beth. No, no, no. It's okay. Get into it. Get into it. Tell me about your poetry class.
It was with James. I'm trying to remember his last name. I feel bad, but he was cool. And I
Okay.
still have my book
The
too
fact you
within reach.
remember his name was James is crazy.
I remember my English 101 teacher too because I fainted in class and I think they had to call an ambulance. It really ended up being like tonsillitis or something. That was Breen Reardon. And there was
What?
like that was like my freshman year. I think I was still dealing with like being a class clown from my senior year of high school. Like I was
Okay.
pretty immature.
And that's how tonsillitis came to be for you?
Well, I'm just thinking of everything's flowing back at once. And me and my friend Brittany for sure prank called his office.
Oh my gosh. Professor James, if you're listening.
No, we prank called Breen Reardon.
Oh,
He was our 101 English teacher.
okay.
James was my poetry, maybe 201. I don't know, actually. 3? I forget. It was a little, I don't know what
Okay.
year I took it. But I still have that poetry anthology nearby, within reach on my
Do you
bookshelf.
read it?
I do.
That's crazy. Okay. Tell why
I
was a
love
poetry class
poetry.
speaking to you? Okay.
Yeah, I really love poetry, and it was a good anthology. He also chose it because one of his poems was in there, which always makes me laugh. But you gotta promote your work.
Sure.
Yes, because then what? You gotta get respect from these freaking kids. Hey,
I
respect
don't
me. I'm a
know.
published poet.
I had a political science professor. The alumni team is going to have a field day watching this back. But I had a political science professor, and our required textbook was her textbook. And I always felt some type of way about it because
It
I
is
was like, how many royalties are you
art. You can
getting?
let it slide. I should say,
Yeah.
slip and slide. Art, you can let it slide. When it comes to a textbook, it feels more factual. But what was political science?
Political science.
Hmm.
Foreign politics, to be specific. I won't name names. But you know who you are.
But you know who you are, and you know the royalties you received.
Yeah.
I
That
actually
one
feel like I
class.
had a couple semesters where I didn't buy any books because I would never crack them anyway.
An unfortunate reality, I think.
Yeah, and then you buy them for $500, and they're like, "We'd love to." It's like the original Buffalo Exchange. We'd love to offer you 2 pennies for this $500 book.
Or like
You
the
know what?
Plato's
I think I'll use
Closet.
it for kindling instead. Thank you.
Well, you didn't burn James's book, which is all that
No,
matters.
I know it makes me want to look. I bet I could see it. I'll find it later.
Um,
I was like just looking at it the other day. Oh, where are you, James? Sorry, I'm taking a diversion.
no, I'm just staring at your background now, so this is great.
Oh,
I
good.
feel like
Yeah,
I'm
you can ask questions on whatever you find back there for fun.
no wonderful.
Yeah, there's like a raccoon in a dress back there.
Oh, she's really cute. Assuming it's
Questlove is up there at the top. Questlove sent that for Christmas.
That's so fun.
Claus.
What's up with Kelly Clarkson?
That's just a Steve Carell quote from 40-Year-Old Virgin. Kelly Clarkson when he's getting waxed.
I love that. How long has that been there?
Speaking of Miami, I saw 40-Year-Old Virgin in the theaters at Miami.
What year did you graduate from Miami?
2007.
Okay. There was a movie theater then?
Yes. Oh my
Weird.
gosh, you didn't have a movie theater?
Mm-mm.
I think it was the Princess.
Where in Oxford was
Did you have
it?
Cafeña?
Yeah, we have Cafeña.
So across the street from Cafeña was the movie theater.
Whoa.
Yeah, but we actually went to Hamilton, I think, for this one.
Okay, that makes sense.
40-Year-Old. I loved it because 05 it came out. So we probably saw it junior year or something, or sophomore year. We went to theater. And we did Hair, the musical, in the theater department.
Yeah.
And I was cast in it, but then I got mono. Anyway, the end of 40-Year-Old Virgin, they sing, "The moon is in the..." Yeah, there's some Hair songs in it.
That's so... Also, tonsillitis and mono? You lived a life at Miami. That sucks.
I know. It's making me seem Like maybe I was a little more out on the streets than I was.
No, it just seems like you were a victim of many infectious diseases, as many college students
Both
are.
coming together and the cup never getting fully washed.
Yeah, yeah. Also, if
Possibly.
like one person had it, like everyone had it by then.
I know they called it the kissing disease. I was like, I don't think I benefited from that. I don't think I got it from kissing anybody.
Well, since I feel like, at this point there's no flow in the conversation, so, because I usually
Sorry.
ask about, no, no, gosh, I'm like, wow, I don't even know how I'm doing this right now. Um,
You're doing great. I've been taking us on tangents, but I'm like used to being with comedians who can't, they're like dogs with a laser pointer. Or I guess cats.
no, I love it.
Cats is the reference.
So actually, what I want to talk about is your T-shirt. If you mind
Oh yeah.
showing them. We have a Miami field hockey tee. One,
Yes.
shout out Miami sports. Shout out Miami
Yes, I
field
got to see the
hockey.
team play like in the last fall when they were
Oh, no
here.
way.
Yes.
So, one, did you play on the Miami field hockey team?
I did not play for our amazing field hockey team while at Miami. I did do a little bit of club, but because I was a theater major, I really kind of had, I don't really think I had a choice. I had rehearsals at night,
Right.
and it wouldn't have been possible, I believe, to do both.
That
And
makes
do,
sense.
excuse me, I burped a little because of that bubble water.
The
But,
Waterloo.
Waterloo. Um, So yes, but I did get to play a little bit of club, which was really fun. And my sister and I had a teeny bit of overlap when she was at OU and she played club field hockey. So I did get to play my sister over at Miami one night, which was really fun. And we played in high school together 1 year overlapping as well. And now my oldest sister coaches our home high
Oh, that's
school.
so
So she's
cute.
the assistant coach.
And as
And
an adult, you play field hockey, yes?
yes, I got back into field hockey out here in Los Angeles, Santa Monica Field Hockey Club. And from there, somebody introduced me to the master's program. She's the sort of team mom of sorts of the Santa Monica Club, Sandy. She told me about the master's program. So basically, you just need to be 35 years old or above, and you need to try out for the team. So you go to one of the tryout sessions, and if you make the team, you get to travel and represent the U.S. women's masters team, depending on your age. Basically, it goes in 5 year brackets. But yeah, usafieldhockey.com. If there's people out there that are still wanting to play into their golden years, it's a great program. I've met so many incredible women who have such a wide range of jobs and experiences, and I've made friends with them, and we get to travel the world doing the sport we love.
And
So
like to emphasize that you travel the world, didn't you go to Spain for this? Where did you
we
go?
we so far I've tried out for the last 2 years. We went. My first tournament was the Pan Am American Cup, which was actually in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
That's so cool.
And then last fall we played in the World Cup in Cape Town, South Africa.
Oh my lord.
It was a very far trip, but an incredible experience, and it's just fun to play the sport in a different
So
country
how
with these
does
cool women.
like full-time comedian can I even call it part-time field hockey USA representative
Well,
work?
like many women's sports, we are self-funded. We do a
Yeah,
little fundraising. So I think too, there's been a lot of change actually in the entertainment industry in the last 5 years, especially. We had the pandemic, Writers Guild strike, the streamers have decimated television. There's a lot going on. And because I was a stand up first and then moved into television writing, I've been grateful to have both, because in those hard times, I've been able to switch between
hmm.
them. And I'm very grateful for that. When we had the pandemic and I couldn't tour because people need to protect people, I was able to write for television. And in the writer's strike, when we're not working, I was still able to tour as a stand up.
Tour.
You could argue too that like it was a little bit of a gray area because my special came out near the tail end of it. And that's hard because I am a Writers Guild writer and Netflix was a struck company, but there's no union for stand-ups and we'll never be protected. So
Oh,
if I'm not promoting my
interesting.
special, it's just really
Then who?
every
Yeah,
person for themselves. And it was complicated for me to be dealing with that at the time, just because it's like
yeah.
I want to stay strong with my union and hold the line, but it made it a little confusing. But all that to say, there were times where I actually couldn't do anything. Like I was taking less shows and playing hockey at night in LA. which allowed me to sort of really get into playing more and get better. And I kind of would sometimes choose between a pickup game and a show. And I was kind of choosing pickup game over show for a while there. So yeah. I go through different periods of time where I'm like more into hockey versus more into comedy.
And where do you think you're at like right now?
Right now I'm leaning comedy. I played in a tournament early August, the Shooting Star tournament, which is a master's tournament up in at Amherst College, which was really cool to be there and explore that city. So it was a really fun tournament. Great to be with everybody again. They're trying to build the team up more domestically, so that means practices, but almost everybody's East Coast. And again, it's all self-funded. So it's like, do I want to fly the Sunday after I play the Houston Punchline, fly to Philly at 6 a.m., drive an hour to Collegeville, PA, play for 3 hours as my sort of like tryout, and then take a red eye across the country from Philly to LA that night?
That's a hard sell.
It's a hard sell. Especially because, your payment is discounted sportswear.
Yeah. Is it cute?
And the love of the game. It is cute.
The love.
I've done stuff like that. I did Netflix's A Joke Fest on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Friday night of May of last year. Took a red eye that night, landed. I think we played at William and Mary. I played a session on Saturday, a session on Sunday, and flew home. So I've definitely done it.
That's so sick.
I've done it. It's just hard. And then what? You never want to be the person that's like, well, I might be better if I didn't sleep on a plane. But I did. I freaking slept on a plane and then showed up to practice.
Well, and right now you're on the road, right? Aren't you actively touring?
Yes. This is one of my 3 days home this month.
Which, thanks for dedicating an hour to Miami.
I wanted to meet you.
I appreciate it.
It's fun. What was your major?
I double majored in political science and emerging tech for business.
Cool.
Yeah. Fun times.
Yeah. We're different.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit. And I couldn't do what you do. So
I bet I could write a little set for you with you.
But you'd have to write it. That's where
I think you could come with some good ideas.
Actually, this is a crazy question I'm about to ask you. If you could write a comedy set for anyone at Miami, I'm talking maybe micro celebrity from your years, or maybe not. Mm-hmm. Who would you be I want you to perform an hour and I want to write it? Is there someone that comes to mind?
I think we'd have to start with 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wait. I said an hour. I'm so sorry. Yeah. A little task. Was Brick Street around when you were?
Brick Street was around.
Yeah. So maybe a 5-minute at Brick.
You mean if I? But you're saying choose somebody to write it for, right?
Yeah, you're writing for someone.
A human.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Dr. Paul Jackson comes to mind. He was
such a random name drop.
He was one of our theater professors. So funny. A massive, powerful human being. Very tall. Was a dancer, ballet dancer.
That's so cool.
And then ended up teaching at Miami for years. And he was just so funny and silly. And it would write itself, but everybody would enjoy a performance from Dr. J.
Awesome.
I will say, this is about to take a turn. He has passed away. He's no longer with us, but in memoriam, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Dr. J.
Yeah. He, speaking of asking for money, he was the one person I wanted to donate in his name. When they were doing a little scholarship in his name.
That's so sweet.
A special guy. Love him.
I'm glad you mentioned it, because I was going to say I'm so glad you said his full name, because when alumni staff watches this, they reach out to them. And then you were
that's why I had to warn you.
No, I appreciate it.
Let me let you down easy. He's no longer with us.
We're not going to be able to make that. But you know what, Dr. J, if you're listening to this.
He actually cast me my first dramatic role, because I was always wanting to be funny, which I liked doing and was most comfortable.
Is your thing.
He cast me as Beatrice in A View from the Bridge.
Interesting.
It was
How was that for you?
It was awesome. Good. It was cool to take that turn. My mom loved it. She still wants me to do more drama.
Do you want to do more drama? I know you're
too
obviously
busy living it. No, I'm just kidding.
So true.
I wouldn't mind it. I think I just got an audition in my inbox for some more dramatic. I haven't read it yet, but it said bereavement counselor. So either they want me to be a funny one, or it's a serious role.
Okay, well, stay tuned, folks. Maybe we'll see Beth on the big screen in a bereavement counselor.
I'll be with you in a moment.
I want to be conscious of your time, but gosh, I feel like I have so much to ask you. And I
Yes,
feel like we
whatever. Heck,
didn't get.
we could do
I feel
speed.
like
We could do. I'll be as speedy as possible.
okay, speedy as possible. What is the one biggest lesson you learned from going to Bagel and Deli to that new bagel shop in Chicago? Unbagel related.
Unbagel related.
Or I mean, if you want to throw in a bagel tip, I'm sure the viewers would
Well,
be
bagel related,
appreciative.
I would say you got to wear gloves if you're going to be making people sandwiches, which I
Good
do
to know
think
you
they do now.
weren't doing that in Oxford.
I do believe they wear them now.
Ew.
No shade. So sorry. Still love them, even if you were making them raw.
The
But
dark side of Bagel and Deli. Or even a lesson in Oxford to Chicago. For those folks early in their 20s, moving out, going to new cities, early in their
yeah,
careers.
you can do it. I mean, it's one of those things where I remember being probably a little apprehensive and nervous. It's a big move to a big city, but I went with friends that I met at Miami, which made it easier to have people there I already knew. And I also just like, I have another kid that was asking me, like, should I move to LA? And it's like such a big question
Yeah.
because the answer is no. You absolutely shouldn't move here and pursue the arts. But when you're 22, you have that beautiful naivete, self
Yeah.
confidence. You're a little delusional. And you think, well, maybe it'll be different for me. And I say, you have to have that.
Yeah.
That's what it takes to move there is to have this sort of like a little bit of delusional confidence. Like maybe I'm different. Maybe I can do it. I will say, working at Miami, all the jobs I had, I was an RA. I worked at the bagel shop. I'm trying to think of my other job, a mail room. But that prepared me to get to a city and know that I was going to need more than one job
Yeah.
to make my rent. And that continued for me out in LA too. I had several jobs. So yeah, just a juggling of multiple things. I think that was something that carried over for me definitely at Miami. Work juggling classes, extracurriculars, the honor societies, the volunteer clubs, field hockey here and there. It wasn't as prevalent for me at Miami. But
Yeah.
yeah, and rehearsals and stuff. Juggling all of that, figuring out a schedule on campus allowed me to figure out how to work at the bagel shop, babysit in the afternoon, find a show that night, manage it all.
I love that. And I feel like in so many words, you essentially said being Delulu is the Salulu,
Yeah.
which I love. Um,
Is that
also,
a phrase or did you make
oh
it up?
yeah, no, super, super big phrase. I
Oh,
cannot take
wow.
credit.
See,
Um,
this is the generational. I need to stay in touch with the youth like you.
it's okay. I mean, hit me up, Beth. You have my contact now. Um, no, but I love that. And I don't know if you're familiar with Eric Lang, the actor. Um,
hmm.
he, he was in Lost, but I'm also going to name a show that you probably weren't watching, Victorious on Nickelodeon. Um, but
Hmm.
no, I don't think you were watching. That's okay.
No, I wasn't.
But no, but he also a Miami alum, awesome person. And when he first moved to
Cool.
LA, he talked about this moment where it was his first Halloween in LA and he didn't have friends. And so what he did is he got a frozen Sara Lee cheesecake from whatever grocery store there was and he went to heat it up at home. And instead of like heating it up like a normal person, because he like wasn't quite mature enough, um, used an iron and like tried to warm up the cheesecake, and that was like his like, and he was like in a toga because like he was trying to get to a Halloween party, but like it didn't work out. He didn't like get the actual details. So like toga, warming up a frozen cheesecake with an iron. Do you have a similar moment in like your early career that you're like, we've
Oh my
seen a
gosh.
rough moment or two?
The first thing that comes to my mind is my mom was kind enough to, she was having a 60th birthday. So she was going to get herself a new car, which meant that I could take her old car and move to LA.
That's so sick.
And it was a Mercury Sable '02, really long, not ideal for LA and getting into parking spaces. I booked a spot at the Improv, which was a big deal, especially when I moved out here. And after that set, honestly, I can't remember if it went bad or well. I think it was probably fine, but I'm getting on like the 11 p.m. show because
Yeah.
like prime time would be 8. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go through the in and out drive through after this set.
Yeah.
And I'm in the drive through and it's like, to be honest with you, I might have had like the kind of phone you have to like, I don't think I was still pressing every button. I think I finally had an iPhone, but I think I
Okay.
like looked down at my phone for a second and my foot kind of came off the brake a little bit and I just slowly bumped into the person in front of me. But
Okay.
it was
A little
like,
tap.
it was life ruining. He got out of his car. I mean, in the moment, he got out of his car. He wasn't like cruel or crazy, but he said, like, I couldn't see anything. And of course, I'm like, please let me go. And he's like, I'm
Yeah.
going to just call it into my insurance. And it was just like one of those things where it was really my first accident.
Yeah.
Well, in LA. I had a bit of an accident at Miami that was pretty wild. Thank goodness nobody was around, but I did total a car in Miami on those hills.
Oh
It
my
was a
gosh.
stick.
Wow.
That I'm taking
Stick on
another
the hill is
tangent.
tough.
The
That's
point
okay.
is, I tapped this guy's car. The insurance went up. It was traumatic. I felt so awful
That's
because
tough.
it's like,
Yeah, and you were
you
working
take
like
your,
5 bajillion jobs at that
yeah,
point
I
too,
was
I'm
really
assuming.
tired. Stuff like that happened maybe more than once where I fell
You
asleep
probably
like
couldn't
with
have
my
even
foot.
enjoyed your in and out either because
I
you were like,
didn't.
wow, my
I was
day's just being
so
ruined.
upset because
Yeah.
I think too when you're younger, obviously that feels bigger. Like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
my insurance is going to go up, and I hit someone, and again,
Well, here's the
thankfully
thing
no
though,
one was
you're
hurt.
still recalling it so vividly though. So like it
Yeah,
was
in fact, he gave
big.
me his card and it said like NBC Universal, and after he left, of course, then my pain and sadness and frustration with myself turned to anger, and I was like, someday I'm gonna get a bunch of offers on a script, and NBC's gonna make an offer, and ABC, and I'm not gonna choose NBC because he worked for
Because it's
them.
this man. Yeah.
Now I'm like, NBC, please come back. Where are you? They're like, we're
NBC, if you're
Peacock. We've never
listening
heard
to
of you.
this, if you're listening to this, call Beth. She's made amends. She's over it. We're
I'm
making
so
peace.
sorry.
And film at
Yeah,
Miami
so
University.
thankfully nothing too. What would you say? I missed
And
it.
film a special at Miami University.
I know. I wonder how that would go.
We got a recent video cameo in John Green's movie, Turtles All the Way Down.
Really?
Yes, shout out King Library. I believe it was filmed by there.
That's cool.
Yeah, so basically, we have an auditorium. If you need a special, again, Ben, let us
Hmm.
know. I
That
speak
theater
on
looks
behalf, as
pretty.
if I have like the authority to do any of that, but like, I'd find a way.
You'll be the producer if it happens.
Yeah, yeah. I'll intro you in, and I'll play your walk-in song. Which actually, to wrap up our time together, obviously you have the walk-in song.
I do.
Everyone talks about it. What's your walk-out song?
Well, same.
Okay.
Well, okay.
That was a really bad question. I'm
No,
sorry.
well, my like what I walk on stage to is usually what they play when I walk off as well.
Okay.
But lately, so I walk out to "Pretty Ugly" by Tierra Whack.
Okay.
Is my
I'm not
one of
familiar with it. I'm so sorry.
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
And lately, I have a bit of a section on Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. And
I love that.
so when I come off stage, the sound person has been playing Cheeseburger in Paradise, which is very funny to me.
That's
It's
so
them thinking on their
fun.
toes. They're loving it.
They're
A little
locked
creative.
in.
I actually don't suggest it, and it's happened on this tour like 7 times. So
Oh,
I think they're taking some creative license, which is very fun.
I love it. And to wrap us up, you come to campus semi-frequently,
Yeah.
but full reign, what's your dream day in Oxford if you got to go back for a whole day? You can time travel too if you want. People have asked.
Okay. I would go to the Center for Performing Arts, pop in there, maybe go over to Presser Hall, which is different now, I think, but that's where we had a lot of theater classes.
I think it's still called that, but I may be misquoting.
I would maybe take the Freedom Summer Tour.
Cool.
I would try to see a play or a musical. Today's getting pretty full. I would go to Bagel
You're not
and
getting a
Deli.
bagel. Oh, I was about to say, I was like, are we getting a bagel? Are you going
I
to
would
look
do
for
it maybe
gloves?
twice even.
Wow.
Sometimes I'll
Okay.
get it and go to Ned's house, the guy who owns the place, and eat
Oh my
there
gosh.
with him and his
Okay.
wife, Bonnie.
That's so fun.
And I guess I could throw in a little nature experience. Maybe
If
I'll
you
play
want.
flip cup with some people in their front yard of my old house, Tequila Mockingbird.
My best friend lived in Tequila Mockingbird.
Wow, I bet that Q-tip
That's
is still in
crazy.
the corner at the top of the stairs.
I'm sure it is. I'm almost certain. Well, thank you so much, Beth, for coming on. If our
Thanks for having
audience
me.
wants to connect with you, if they're just as obsessed with you by the end of this episode as I've been this whole time, what's the best way to connect with you? Do you want to promote anything? Is there a way they can maybe see you live immediately because you're perhaps on tour?
I am on tour, BethStelling.com. I'm going to be at the Woodward Theater in Cincinnati, which is pretty close to Oxford. I'll be there October
3rd, October 3rd.
3rd.
That's when you'll be there.
Thank you. If you're not close to Cincinnati, I'm in Louisville and Nashville the days leading up to it. I'm in Houston. I'm in Philly. I'm in Boston, DC. The list goes on. And you can find me at Beth Stelling on all social media. And if you want to watch something of mine right now, the latest thing I put out was actually, it's free on YouTube. It's called The Landlord Special. And it's
That's
pretty
incredible.
much one long story if you're into that kind of thing. And I have
we'll
specials
link all of those.
like Amitash said on HBO, Netflix. They're out there.
Love it. We will link everything Beth just mentioned in our description.
And when I wrote on this season of Rick and Morty that's coming out, season 8. So you'll see my name there.
Why didn't you lead with that? That's crazy.
Rick and Morty, so cool. Season 8.
Rick and Morty.
And last thing.
Yeah.
Strange Planet. What that was came up with. I wrote on that show, and it
Cool.
was created by Nathan Pyle, who's a fellow Daytonian.
Interesting.
Yeah, and
That's
that's that.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. One, so appreciative of you taking the time, especially when you have 3 days off from tour, to chat with us and reminisce about our beloved alma mater, Miami. But also, I know literally like when we asked our followers, like number one, who they wanted, your name rose to the top very
I'm
quickly. So people are really excited. They
I'm
don't know you're
honored.
coming
I'm
on.
loved and honored.
Yeah, you are. And
I
what a
feel it.
better, I feel like we can't end it on a better note.
That's a wrap on We Went to Miami. Like what you heard? Share it, sub it, hype it up. Till next time, love and honor.